Hello students, today we'll be studying genetic disorders. Broadly, genetic disorders may be grouped into two categories, Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorder. Mendelian disorders are mainly determined by alteration or mutation in a single gene. When there is certain change or mutation in a single gene that result in Mendelian disorder. These disorders are transmitted to the offspring on the same lines. The pattern of inheritance can be traced by the help of pedigree analysis. The most common prevalent Mendelian disorders are hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, phenylketonuria, and thalassemia. By pedigree analysis, one can easily understand whether the trait is dominant or recessive. Similarly, the trait may also be X-linked. Trait shows transmission from carrier female to male progeny, whereas the autosomal is linked to the autosome and sex chromosome both. Now we'll talk about certain Mendelian disorders. First one is hemophilia. Hemophilia is a sex-linked recessive disease and shows transmission from affected carrier female to some of the male progeny. In this disease, a single protein that is a part of cascade of protein. Cascade means series of proteins involved in the clotting of blood is affected. So this line says that in this disease, a single protein which is a part or a series of proteins which are involved in blood clotting is affected. In an affected individual, a single cut or a simple cut will result in a non-stop bleeding. The blood continuously flows from the individual because of the absence of certain clotting factors from the blood. The heterozygous female for hemophilia may transmit the disease to the son. The possibility of a female becoming a hemophilic is extremely rare because mother of such female has to be carrier and the father should be hemophilic. The possibility of a female to become a hemophilic is rare because the mother should be carrier whereas the father should be hemophilic, and both these chances are very rare. Now we'll talk about sickle cell anemia. It is also an autosomal recessive trait that can be transmitted from parents to the offspring when both the partners of the gene are carrier, that is when both are heterozygous. Then and only then this sickle cell anemia will be prominent in the offspring. The allele for these are HbA and HbS. It is normal one and this is the sickle cell one. Out of the three possible genotype, which three possible genotype? One is the dominant or the normal phenotype, second one is the diseased phenotype, and the third one is the recessive phenotype. When homozygous condition is prevalent, that is Hb stands for hemoglobin molecule, sickle cell or sickle cell, then this is defined as diseased phenotype. In case of heterozygous condition, the individual will be unaffected because of the presence of this dominant trait but will be the carrier, and there are 50% chances of this allele to be transmitted to the progeny. In sickle cell anemia, there is a substitution of glutamic acid. Now students, you might be knowing that there are 22 amino acids present in our body that code for a particular protein, out of which 11 are essential amino acid whereas 11 are non-essential amino acid. Essential amino acids are those that are required by our body and are need to be taken externally from the diet, whereas non-essential amino acids are produced in our body itself. So, substitution of glutamic acid by a valine. Valine is also an amino acid. Glutamic acid is also an amino acid. So, instead of glutamic acid, valine is present at the 6th position of beta globin chain of hemoglobin molecule. So, hemoglobin molecule has a beta globin chain present in it, and at the 6th position of this beta globin chain, there is a substitution by valine instead of glutamic acid. This single base substitution is GAG gets converted into GUG. Mutant hemoglobin undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing the change in the shape of the RBC from biconcave disc to elongated sickle cell like structure. Now students, you might be knowing that hemoglobin has a high affinity for oxygen binding. Because of this mutation of GAG to GUG, the oxygen binding capacity of the hemoglobin decreases, thereby causing a tension which results in changes in the structure of the RBC from biconcave disc to elongated sickle cell like structure. Next is phenylketonuria. It is also an autosomal recessive trait. The affected individual lacks an enzyme that converts the amino acid phenylalanine to tyrosine. Now, under this condition, that is phenylketonuria, the individual who is affected with phenylketonuria lacks an enzyme which is responsible for converting the phenylalanine to tyrosine. As a result, this phenylalanine is accumulated and converted into phenylpyruvic acid. Since there is the absence of enzyme which converts phenylalanine to tyrosine, this phenylalanine gets converted into phenylpyruvic acid and gets accumulated. The accumulation of these phenylpyruvic acid in the brain results in mental retardation of an organism. Now we'll talk about chromosomal disorders. Chromosomal disorders are caused either due to the absence or excess or abnormal arrangement of one or more chromosomes in the karyotype. Failure of segregation of chromatids during cell division cycle result in the gain or loss of chromosome, which is called as aneuploidy. Failure of cytokinesis after telophase stage of cell division results in increase in a whole set of chromosome in an organism, and the phenomenon is known as polyploidy. This condition, polyploidy, is generally seen in case of plants. Students, as we have already discussed about how many number of pairs of chromosomes are present in humans, that is 23 pairs, out of which 22 chromosomes are autosomes, while the remaining one pair is sex chromosome. Sometimes, though rarely, either an additional copy of a chromosome may be included in an individual, or an individual may lack one or more pair of chromosomes. These situations when a chromosome has an additional copy of a chromosome is called as trisomy, and when an individual may lack a pair of chromosome, it is called as monosomy. Such a situation leads to a very serious consequences in the individual. Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome are common examples of chromosomal disorders. Now we'll talk about each in detail. Down syndrome. Down syndrome indicates the presence of an additional copy of the chromosome number 21. There is an additional copy on the chromosomal number 21, and hence this shows the trisomy of chromosome 21. It was first described by the Langdon Down and hence was named as Down syndrome in 1866. The phenotype of the individual that are affected with this syndrome has short stature with small round head, Short statured means they have a short height. Furrowed tongue and partially open mouth. Palm is broad with a characteristic palm crease. Physically and psychologically as well as mental development is retarded in those individuals that suffer from Down's syndrome. Next we'll be talking about Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome shows a presence of an additional copy of X chromosome resulting into a karyotype of 47, that is XXY. Students, in the Down syndrome, there was an additional copy on chromosome number 21. So that shows the presence of an extra chromosome in autosomes, whereas that is also trisomy, but in case of autosomes, here also in Klinefelter syndrome, it is trisomy, but in case of sex chromosome. Phenotype of the individual affected with Klinefelter syndrome is they develop feminine characteristic, development of breast which is called as gynecosmetia. It is expressed and the individuals are sterile. What do you mean by sterile? They are not capable of reproduction. Third is Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome indicates the absence of the X chromosome, that is 45 with XO genotype. Phenotype of the individual having Turner syndromes include females are sterile as ovaries are rudimentary. Besides, other features including lack of secondary sexual characters are observed in case of individual with Turner syndrome. So this was all about the unit number 5, that is principle of inheritance and variation. If you have any doubt regarding any topic of this chapter, you can directly contact me and ask your doubt and resolve your questions. Thank you so much. I hope this will be beneficial to you and you are understanding what I am trying to convey. Thank you very much. Thank you.